What is up, everybody? This is No Continues. This is your favorite video game discussion show. My name is Juice. I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Benduzo. We got some fun things to get into today. We got some Xbox to talk about. We do have a little bit of PlayStation. And of course, how are we feeling about Nintendo Switch 2 after about a week and a half? So we got some fun stuff to go for it today. Ben, how are we feeling?
I'm doing good. How about you, Juice?
I'm doing very well. Had a very busy week, and of
Nice.
course the weekend came by very quickly as well. So,
Mm,
it seems like time is flying by just
indeed.
insanely
Yeah,
fast.
insanely fast.
Went to a concert on Monday, had a great
Nice.
time, and then it just seemed like the work week was crazy. So yeah, just one of those weeks that seemed to fly by, and we're already entering
Yeah.
February. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like
Like,
2025 was like a week. 2024 was a week ago in my head.
yeah,
Like
we're almost a month in, so
exactly.
now things are really going to start kicking up as far as gaming.
Mm,
Heck, we had a presentation to quickly go
yeah.
over in the news, of course. So we got some fun things to tackle. And before we get into any of those things, let's start quickly with what are you playing? What have you been playing recently since we last spoke, Ben?
Um. So yeah, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD for the Nintendo Switch. Echoes of a No, I'm joking with the title, but yeah, I've been playing a lot of Donkey Kong Country on stream, to be honest, because that's pretty much the only time I have to play video games. But I've been playing on the side a little bit of Marvel vs. Capcom, the Fighting Collection. I've been
Oh,
practicing my skills with
okay.
my pad
Oh,
that you
yeah,
got me.
classic.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
pad
very
that you got
nice.
me.
Yeah,
So yeah, really
yeah.
like this pad. It's really cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been playing. Whenever I have free time, I just do a quick match or two. It's pretty fun, honestly. How about you? What are you playing right now?
Yeah, we spoke off this week, and I've been really trying to like get into a lot of things in my backlog. I'm really
Yeah,
trying to tackle a bunch of things before the Switch 2, and also even when it's out, I'm trying to tackle a bunch. So I'm in my
yeah.
Switch backlog. So I just finished a playthrough of Pokemon Shield recently.
Oh, okay.
Um, it happens once a year. I just get like a Pokemon itch. I just want to make a
Yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah.
I always like figuring out good
That's
combinations and stuff.
cool.
So I played through Sword about 4 or 5 years ago, so I was familiar with like
Yeah, you already
Shield.
knew
So
the
I've
game.
been
Yeah.
having fun with that and finished that. That game, it kind of gets dunked on a lot, but
I don't know.
I would say ever since like Scarlet and Violet came
Yeah,
out, it doesn't get dunked on as much
exactly.
anymore.
The way I see Sword and Shield is the last old school gen titles in a way, because they actually implemented the open world aspect with the I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a
Or the
like
wild
the
area.
wild area. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they were probably testing it through that, the open world area. But yeah, they're pretty much the last like original title that we're gonna have, like the linear title in a way, because
Yeah.
nowadays Pokemon's gonna go through is gonna go open world from now on. It's never gonna go back to those roots. Instead, the only way that I see them going through those routes is like actually doing a remake of a game, which they did with the BDSP.
Yeah, they always like to do those.
So yeah, so that's why I kind of like this game, and I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I've put more than 700 hours in this game. So like I
Oh
really
wow.
like
Yeah,
it.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, because I love the shiny hunt. I used to love the shiny hunt. I don't have time anymore, but like I was really into shiny hunting back then. So yeah, I spent a lot of hours in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it. I like Pokemon.
Yeah,
It's glorified rock paper scissors. So
exactly.
I'm not too into like the EVs and IVs and like
Mm.
that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I enjoy my time with it. I haven't fully played through Scarlet and Violet, so I'll probably try it at some point this year. I know it's just
It's
the
not
performance
good.
really turns me off.
Yeah, and it's not
I have
good.
to try again
It's
because
not. It's
I've
not that.
tried them before, but
Yeah.
it really turned me off actually.
My only gripes with Sword and Shield is it feels like an unfinished mess. That's it.
It does
That's
feel unfinished.
like you go into stores and there's like a PNG of what you need to buy instead of having an actual store. Most of the open world is just boring. Not boring to explore because like I don't know how to explain it, but it's not fun. It's not fun. The open world aspect of it is fun, but it's unfinished. There's nothing
Yeah,
done in the game. Like,
yeah. I think I got through like 2 gyms, and I was like,
yeah,
I think I need to take a break from this because yeah, it just didn't feel like done. But I want to try it again at some point.
yeah.
Yeah, there
But
will come a point where I try it
that's why I
again. So
stopped honestly playing Pokemon. That's why I stopped caring. Now I'm more into Shin Megami Tensei because like it's like a grown-ups Pokemon in a way.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty much that it's pretty much what it is. But yeah, like other than shiny hunting or shiny Pokemons, there's nothing that interests me anymore in Pokemon. I don't know why I've like the cards. Yes, they're fun to collect, especially the new app, but the games, I don't know. I don't know. For me, they're just becoming boring in a way. So yeah,
Yeah, I still like them. I just it only comes every so often.
yeah,
So
yeah. No,
once
I
I'm
get
done
it.
playing with one, I'm like satisfied, and then I can hold off for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You,
after that, I've been playing through like all sorts of stuff. Like I was playing through Hyrule Wars Definitive Edition. I was
oof,
playing through Cruisin'
oof.
Blast because we talked about it recently, and I was kind of like in a
Yeah,
car
itching
racing
a little
mood.
bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've been playing through Mario Kart DS because ever
Ooh,
since
yeah.
seeing Mario Kart in the Switch 2 trailer, I don't know. I just had like I was like I kind of want to play an old school Mario Kart game, so I've been playing through
Mm,
DS.
such a good game.
Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm doing a lot of the missions, and yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. So that's kind of what I've been
Yeah.
getting up to, trying to complete as much as possible,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
essentially.
You're keeping yourself busy.
Yeah, I'm
That's what's
trying to be on a
important.
grind. Yeah,
Exactly.
just checking games off at this
No,
point.
no,
So
but like understandably, like the backlog can be so huge. Like the only reason why I'm going through my backlog is through streaming because I would have a lot of problem just going through my older games. Not because I
yeah,
don't like them, it's just because like you always want something new in a way. Like I don't
yeah,
know how to
it's true.
explain
Yeah,
it. Like you don't always want to buy the new thing. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to go through a backlog. You have to force yourself in a way.
yeah, I'm like really determined. It's
Yeah,
like I bought these games, I gotta play
exactly.
at
No, no.
least a majority of them at
Yeah.
least. So I've been on a mission. So now, along with playing, was there any games that you have picked up recently? Any gaming pickups that
Yeah.
you've had?
Yeah. First one is Donkey Kong Country Returns to AG. Like Returns AG. I picked it up, streamed it. It's super fun, honestly, super fun game. The other one I've talked about it today actually, like in the video, but it's Marvel vs. Capcom The Fighting Collection. I got it used, like I got it cheaper than what it goes for right now, so I'm pretty happy honestly. And I like it comes with like a little comic book in
Oh,
a way,
cool.
which
Yeah.
whatever, it's that honestly I'm really happy about it. And the next one that I bought is an anime title.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, the OG one. I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
there's Attack on Titan 2 on both platforms, which is the Switch and the PS4. I don't know if it's on Xbox, but the second one is very expensive. Like a very
Really?
expensive game, especially on Switch. And I remember back when it came out, like everyone was criticizing that game because like it was like pretty much like you would do the same thing over and over again, but like for 3 or 4 or 5 hours just to like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like
Yeah,
they're inoffensive games to me.
yeah.
Like
Sure, yeah.
I bought it like $20, so I don't really care. I'm happy about it. I'm in a Attack on Titan mood as far as anime goes, so I'm like, I found it cheap, so yeah. How about you?
Yeah, for me, funny enough, sort of similar in the sense
Yeah.
I also picked up
Ooh,
Donkey
yes,
Kong Country HD
sir.
as well. I played through the first world today. I'm watching you stream it as well. I played it as a kid, never got all the way through because these are a lot tougher than
Oh, they're
people.
hard, man.
Yeah, they are challenging platformers. I think a lot of people don't know that Donkey Kong Country is like if you were just to see it at a glance,
Hmm.
they're not easy. But the game controls really well.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with it.
No
Um,
motion control, so that's good.
no motion
Honestly,
controls, which
yeah.
definitely makes it better. I know there's quite a few people that have
Like,
quite a few complaints with this game. I
yeah.
think it's a fine port. I don't think it's a
So,
great port.
loadings are bad
It's
though.
The loading is bad.
Oh, very
Yeah.
bad. Like I just don't understand. I feel like Nintendo did the least amount of effort for this game. Just because they know it's gonna be fixed for the Switch too, probably. Like the load times are gonna be so quicker, so they don't really care at that point.
Yeah, the loads was easily the thing. Like I only played through the first world. I know you're way deeper than I am.
Yeah.
But even I noticed right away. And even watching it on stream, I was like, it's taking
Quite
10,
a
15 seconds to jump into a level here. Like,
which is it's like no Nintendo games loads that long. Like
yeah, especially a Wii game. Like we're talking like
a couple of generation behind, and like the Wii was like not very powerful console, so they have they have no reason for it to be that long. But yeah,
I would say if you've ever been interested, just pick it up. I would say wait for a sale, but these games rarely go on sale when it comes to Nintendo.
Yeah, and so, the thing is I think Nintendo's are pulling back from not physical copies, but for mass printing copies, because back in the day, like back when the Switch came out, they used to print copies and copies and copies and copies of games. Like Breath of the Wild is still being printed right now because it's sold better than Tears of the Kingdom, and it sells better than Tears of the Kingdom. So why would they stop printing it? Same thing with Mario Kart. But this game, like especially a Wii game that came out that comes out at the end of the life cycle is gonna be printed. Like it's not gonna be printed a lot. So if you want it physically, buy it right now. Like that's my advice.
I also picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Funny enough, this was on sale for $50.
Really?
Yeah, so I bought it. So
where?
Amazon, out of all places.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy it. Which is funny. I have Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
I don't have 2.
Yeah.
But I picked up 3.
Yo, 3 is so good.
I heard 3 is good. And I do have a pre-order for Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah.
Because I think that one I'm actually gonna jump into and play. That game seems like, because it's different, it's like the mechs, it's the whole like future thing. It's like not really connected to these, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I'm not gonna get too much into it, but yes and no.
You can play it.
You can play it. Like nobody knew they were connected before the DLC of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which there's one line in a radio that mentions something. So like I'm telling you, like you don't have to play them.
You have to the Future Redeemed.
Yeah, DLC? The Future Redeemed. Like you have a weird sequence of the game. I'm not gonna spoil it, but like. And then you hear something in a radio in the background, and you know that it's reference to this game. So
so I'll have that one going. And then last thing I picked up, I think you and I both picked this up. This is Little Town Hero Definitive Edition, or Big Idea Edition. Sorry.
Yeah.
I picked it up for $30 off VGP. Yeah. I think you were a similar sense.
Yeah, but I bought it like honestly like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. I know it's a Game Freak game. I'm just gonna buy it.
Yeah, because it's
I heard it's kind of mid.
Yeah, I heard it's bad too. I never honestly like played it. I opened it. I bought it sealed back in the day. I opened it just to see what it is inside, but like I haven't even opened everything inside. It's just very weird that Game Freak actually does anything else than Pokemon. So
yeah. One thing I instantly noticed on the back was that it says featuring music by Toby Fox.
Yeah, there is music. Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, Toby Fox does a lot of music for Pokemon now. I don't know if you knew.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, like most of the battle themes, like in the later stages of the game, he does them actually, and they're the best tracks in the game. To be honest, like they're really good. But yeah, it's a mid game.
I heard it's just all right, but for $30, I was like, I feel like
and I think it's
gonna
the
do no harm.
only physical version that came out here in Canada. To be honest.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So.
Oh, it's cool. It was like an $80 game back when it came out because it was like a special edition. So. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, no, it seemed all right, so I figured I'd pick it up. So yeah, those are my pickups. I got some stuff coming. So next time I got some other stuff I will show off that I'm excited about. But that wraps it up for what we're playing, what we got. So we'll head into the No Continues news roundup. We got a couple little stories. Before we jump into Xbox and Switch, because it feels like it was like a really good
Oh yeah.
week for
Yeah, it was a good
Xbox
week.
and Nintendo. It wasn't, just quickly, I don't have it on the schedule. It
Mm.
wasn't a good week for Sony.
No.
Apparently they canceled another game behind the scenes.
Really?
Yeah, apparently they canceled a God of War live service game. And apparently, according to a report,
Yeah.
they had 12 live service games in the work
Oh my
at one point,
god.
and they've canceled 8 of them. There's now only
Honestly,
4 in development.
I'm gonna say it
And
right now.
oh my
Investors
God.
needs to be stopped in the video
Yeah,
game world.
it's got to be stopped.
Like
Everyone,
investors needs to stop thinking only with money, because that's not gonna make money. They're gonna lose money. But I know how business works. I know how it makes sense. But like, goddamn, bro, goddamn.
yeah, it's like enough is enough.
Yeah, enough is
I'm
enough.
with you. If you don't know what a live service game, long story short, it's a game that's meant to last years and years. So usually they're online multiplayer games.
Exactly.
So think of things like Fortnite, think of things like Warzone, Marvel Rivals, Destiny. Games that are
Overwatch, yeah.
usually free to start or very cheap to get in.
Mm.
And the way they make their money is by making you buy battle passes, buy skins, buy new guns. That's how they make up their money. And if you hit it out of the park, you make you could make billions.
Oh, you can make billions.
Obviously,
Yeah, like Fortnite
makes billions.
Exactly.
Same thing with Warzone.
Exactly.
And Sony, for the last, I would say 5 years, have been trying to make a game like this.
Yeah.
And it's just failed at every single turn. And it just feels like, I can't believe how much time they've wasted. The money is one thing, because like obviously they've wasted millions. Look at Concord,
Oh,
that's
what a flop.
a big one. But I just think of like these other games that they've canceled, and it's like, not only have you wasted a bunch of time or money, you've wasted time.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that time could have been used doing something else, making something else.
Exactly.
And that complaint of people being like, PlayStation doesn't have that many games, that's going to continue still.
Oh yeah,
it's
because
crazy to me
they put their efforts in such dumb things, like
Yeah.
like 11 games as a
12 live service games, and
My
they've canceled
God,
8. There's only 4 that
My
are
God, it's
scheduled
worse
now.
than Ubisoft, and Ubisoft kept
worse. It is,
pumping
yeah.
out, like, there was like a game with roller skates, and it was like a drone.
Oh,
like
I remember that roller drone, right?
I
Oh,
played
yeah,
it a little bit. It was okay for 2 games, and then it was like, it reached Ubisoft, like, yeah. And like, it I don't know, like, it got canceled like a year after. Every game that they do like that.
There's a bunch like that.
Yeah.
X Defiant from Ubisoft.
There was like the COD Killer.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I saw
That's the
gameplay of that
problem.
game, I was like, looks trash. Like, honestly, looks trash.
It's just a worse Call of Duty.
Yes,
like
'cause-
that's what it was.
So
And
yeah.
the hardest part is like, there's so many established games in that realm already that it's so hard to make
It's
one.
hard to make it
Like,
in
you're
the
not gonna
market.
knock off Fortnite,
No.
Warzone, and so the biggest surprise to me was Marvel Rivals, how
Yeah.
popular it is
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So like that was already a big surprise, but like to make your own is so hard. So
And like,
I-
even Fortnite, financially, they're not doing too well right now. Because like,
well,
they're
it costs
losing
so much to keep the game going.
exactly. And people think like, oh, online servers cost nothing to make. That's not true. Like, they need to host thousands and thousands and millions of players every day. Like, it costs a shit ton of money to do that. Like, it's not like, and they're losing players and players and players, and they have to keep those servers up, because so it just doesn't make, I don't know. They're not making too much money.
I just don't get why you don't lean into your strength, which is obviously single player.
Yeah.
First, story-based game. Just lean into that if that's what you're good at. Like,
and like, nobody complains about the game. I complain
because
because I'm tired of their third-person open world, like, story-driven game. But like, everyone that I talk about, like every collector or every video game, every gamer that I talk about, they're like, no, I like Sony games. Like, they like them. They don't mind Sony pushing them out. Like, so I don't know. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird that they would go. I understand the monetary value. Like, yeah, you can make it.
But they've never done anything like this.
Yeah,
before,
so
right? And like, the most confusing part to me, I was like, how do you make God of War into like an online multiplayer
But
game. I actually thought about it. I couldn't figure out like what the best option would be. I guess like a
I think I know how they would have done it. It's the the free DLC for Ragnarok. It was like
Valhalla, yeah.
like
Like the roguelite
the
thing.
roguelike
Yeah.
thing. Maybe you could have played it with a friend with Artreus and other characters. Maybe
Yeah.
that could have been fun. Honestly, that could have been fun. But just don't cancel it. Put it as a free update on God of War, and we'll play it.
Yeah.
And
Just sounds like a waste of time.
oh
to
yeah,
me
it's a
that
waste of
they-
time
that
and a
they-
waste of
that
money.
They've done this. So, maybe just stick to what you're good at,
Yeah,
please.
Please,
It's
please.
getting tiring. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's move on to Xbox, who I actually thought did pretty good this week.
Yeah.
There was one quick story that apparently Xbox has a new console coming out in 2026.
Yeah.
That was from a couple weeks back. Apparently, they have a next gen console coming out. Does that surprise you? Doesn't really surprise me. I mean, they need a
I just don't think
rebrand
it's
real
true.
bad.
Yeah, but the
Yeah, I
thing
don't
is,
know if it's true either. But
that's the thing. I just don't believe it because I'm like I see how many Xbox Series X are getting sold, and it's like way less than PS5 and Switches. But I feel like they're marketing Xbox to be Game Pass, and that's it.
That's all it is now.
That's all it is, and I'm fine with it because I don't know. I have a Series S at home. I used to own an Xbox One X, and they're cool consoles, but like if you can play them everywhere, if they're marketing their Game Pass to be played everywhere, it's probably gonna be in the Switch in the coming years. It's probably gonna be on PlayStation or anything. Like I don't know why they would keep making consoles. Honestly, like I just find it dumb a little bit, you know. But yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I think the biggest problem with them is just branding. It's just like
They don't know what they
I
want.
don't know what you call it, but you got to call it something
Yeah.
that's not like Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, like
Yeah.
there just has to be something. So,
And like their name are so confusing. Like it just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. Series 1, 1X, 1S, Series S, like dude, what the
they dropped the ball. So
They
bad
dropped the
with
ball
those.
so
That's really
bad.
what
Yeah.
screwed them. So,
Yeah.
but they did have a developer direct
Oh, it was so
on
good.
January 23rd, and they showed off some games. So they showed off Doom: The Dark Ages,
Mhm.
Expedition 33, South of Midnight. Those games were all announced, and then there was some mystery games.
Ooh, good mystery
first-
games.
Yeah. So first, the three games that they did announce and kind of went in depth into, all three of these games look amazing. I think I mentioned it when we did our New Year whatever show.
Yeah.
That I wanted to play Doom: The Dark Ages, I wanted to play
Yeah.
South of Midnight, and I wanted to play
Expedition
33.
yeah.
Expedition looks fantastic.
Looks good. It looks good.
It looks fun.
It
It looks
good.
like a JRPG. I think they said it was made in the West though, so in America.
Yeah.
But it looks like something that I could really get into.
Yeah.
And apparently it's only 30 hours, which is like
Perfect
to me.
for people
Yeah.
that don't have time.
Exactly. So all three of these games look amazing. I
Yeah.
think Xbox is now they're starting to see the fruits of their labor.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
when buying these studios, looks like we're starting to get some really nice output of games. Doom looked amazing. South of Midnight looks amazing too. Like it's got that. It almost looks like Into the Spider-Verse, like that
Yeah.
art style. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah.
So those look great, but their mystery games definitely was like came out of left field. That being Ninja Gaiden 4, which is set to come out in the fall.
Yeah. Made by
And
Platinum Game.
Made by Platinum with Koei Tecmo.
Yeah.
And this
Which
is
is
a
crazy.
Xbox published game. So
Yeah.
it's an Xbox game.
Yeah.
And they also shadow dropped a remastered
Which is
version
crazy.
of Ninja Gaiden 2 in Unreal Engine 5.
Which is crazy.
It looks
amazing.
so good.
I haven't tried it yet
insane.
though. I haven't tried
Yeah,
it, but
me neither.
I've been meaning probably after recording this podcast, I'm probably gonna go play it. I'm probably gonna just be like, okay, you need 2 seconds of your life to play that game.
It looks crazy
good.
And the thing is, these are really difficult games.
Yeah.
They're like really difficult hack and slash
in a way. Yeah, but it's Koei Tecmo, so it kind of feels like Dynasty Warriors
Warriors,
in a
yeah.
way. In a
Yeah.
way, but very tight action RPG mechanics. It's Dark Souls before Dark Souls was a thing.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, but not super fair sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
the
These are
fairness of it
fast.
is a little bit iffy.
So, man, if you're a Ninja Gaiden fan, you're eating good this
You're
year
eating-
because you get these two games, and there's also the 2D Ninja Gaiden game
Yeah.
coming out this year too, as well. So,
Oh yeah, it's
if you've been
crazy.
if you've been missing out on Ninja Gaiden, this looks like it's your year because that was definitely a big surprise.
Yeah.
And man, I will say, hats off to Xbox. That is
Yeah.
like 5 games
Yeah.
already set to come out this year.
Yeah.
And like you said, look at Sony.
Yeah, look at Sony who
we
has
don't
nothing.
even know if they have nothing.
Yeah.
We have nothing.
No, we have,
concrete dates. So
yeah. We have cinematic trailers. That's it.
Yes,
like,
we do. Exactly.
which is my favorite thing about the video game industry.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I will say a lot of these games are coming to PS5. South of Midnight isn't, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But the other games are. So it just makes, I think Xbox is now just a really big game publisher now.
Yeah.
So anyone who, like, they're probably the biggest now in the world,
Mm.
just considering as to how much they have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
And you can make a lot of money as being a publisher, like a lot of money, like lots of money. And if
they bought Activision for $69 billion.
Yeah.
That was their worth.
but Windows is feeding
So-
a little bit in that in the
Yeah. So like you make the games for PC, which is now PC is also growing. It feels like
yeah.
a lot of people.
A lot of people are
going there.
using Game Pass for PC now.
You know, you get the Game Pass. Even if you get a PS5, you can buy their games. So I'm excited to see kind of just what else they got because they got some games lined up for this year.
Yeah. And especially like such an old franchise. That's what I love about Xbox. Sometimes they could fail completely or lay off like thousands of people in one afternoon. But like they've always been like retro gamers in a way. They've always
Phil Spencer, he likes games.
Yeah, he likes games. And Ninja Gaiden, I don't see a world where it would have come back if it wasn't like Xbox in a way.
Yeah.
Like Ninja Gaiden
Well,
is
they're
such
also making like Perfect Dark. Bringing back Perfect Dark. Like they're not afraid to go back
to the thing. And if it
catalog
flops,
and be like, let's make this
exactly.
game.
And if it flops, they don't care because they have so much money. They Xbox doesn't care. They don't care. They can just fail and just be like, okay, let's just do another game. The only thing that I want from Xbox is Banjo-Kazooie. Oh my god, why are you not listening to the fans?
That one definitely hurts the most.
What the
that
hell?
Would definitely be like the biggest one. Yeah.
It will make so much money, or give it to Retro Studios. Okay, here's your plan, Xbox. Okay, you're ready. You're ready.
Right.
Contact Retro Studios right now. Go call your buddy at Nintendo and be like, "Hey, we're not giving the IP to Retro Studio, to Nintendo. We're just letting you do the game, and then Nintendo can publish it, and we can just put an Xbox logo in the loading screen, and then everyone's gonna love it. Everyone's gonna buy it. You know, simple."
Yeah, I thought this presentation was awesome. If you get a chance, go look at the trailers. These games look really fun. So, yeah, excited to try these. Probably get Game Pass to give them a go, or maybe try them on my PS5.
But do you own Game Pass though?
I did for a bit, but I just don't play enough games to justify it at this point. So but if there is a game like South of Midnight or Doom, an Expedition, like I'll probably buy it for a month.
Yeah, per month
when
just
those
to
games
try
come
them
out and play through them. So
yeah.
So so those are kind of the small stories. So let's move on to the trifecta. Now we get to the third pillar of consoles. That being Nintendo. Obviously, things are starting to pick up a bit since the announcement. So we got a couple rumors, and I have some questions for Ben. So the first rumor is that apparently in 2025, according to Bloomberg, they have a source at Nintendo who told them that they plan on selling 20 million Switches in 2025 alone. So
Switch 2 or Switches?
Switch 2s.
Oh, okay.
So apparently,
20 million. Hey yo,
20 million.
hey yo,
That's a
that's a
lot.
lot. It's like
So like the way
it's more
even
than
if we're like
Xbox.
kind of like, yeah, I would say
That's-
the way I look at it is like, okay, like let's say we're conservative. It comes out in June. So in 6 months, they're gonna sell 20 million units. That's their prediction. So I think that means like two things. One, they must feel like they got some bangers for this
yeah,
year. They
yeah.
must feel like they're like, we can do this because
Uh,
we've got these games coming. But second of all, if you're gonna sell 20 million, you have to have 20 million.
yeah,
So I would assume that they're producing these things pretty heavily. Like
yeah.
they must have some stock already. Like they must have a lot of stock built up. At least that's what I've been hearing. So they must have a lot of these ready to go.
Yeah. The thing
Let's
is,
hope.
I the only ick about this is every launch, like consoles are so few and far between. Like nobody gets a hands on it on their console, except if they pre-ordered it. So
Yeah,
I don't know. 20 million copy is stretching it a little bit.
that's a
Like
lot.
yeah, it's
Like,
stretching it. Like
yeah, I would say if you get a chance for a pre-order, anyone just do it.
yeah, do it because it's
The chance of like going to a store
and just
and
buying it
seeing it
one.
there is going to be really tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say it's wishful thinking for 20 million, but
Yeah.
I want to see what you got cooking. I'll see what you got cooking first, then I'll determine
Then yeah.
as to what if 20 million's a lot or not.
Yeah.
Another rumor is that there's quite a bit of third-party support for the launch year. So apparently, Bandai Namco apparently is heavily trying to make a push. So is Ubisoft. Unsurprising, Ubisoft's usually at
Of
every
course.
Nintendo launch, no matter what the console.
Greedy mofo. Okay.
Yeah. And apparently Microsoft. Apparently
Yeah.
Microsoft is also working in tandem with Nintendo
Which
to get
I'm very
things
hyped
like,
about.
yeah, because apparently they're getting Fallout,
Which
Call
is
of Duty.
yeah.
Apparently they're even trying to make Diablo 4, which at first that surprised me when I heard that, but then I was like,
Diablo 3
well, they did
came
make
out
Diablo
on the Switch.
3 on Switch,
and
so
it was
yeah,
like
doesn't really...
a very good seller. Like
Yeah.
sold really well on the Switch, which is honestly it's still my preferred way to play it because I can play as Ganondorf, which is amazing.
Yeah, there's Ganondorf.
There's a transmog,
Yep.
Ganondorf.
Well, and if they have the mouse controls, that'll be interesting because I feel like Diablo probably works better with the mouse, right?
I think so,
I mean,
yes. I think so, yes. But the controller support is really tight in my opinion.
Too, so,
it's really good. Like,
so yeah, unsurprising there. I think Nintendo really wants third parties to help them, and it'll be different this time around because with the Switch launch, they pretty much had to prove to everybody again that they were legit. But now people know that this is a legit thing, so I think that they'll be
they'll jump on it
right there, right at the beginning.
Fallout 4 especially, I'm very excited because like
Fallout 4 is going to be interesting.
It's so cool to finally have it on a Nintendo console, like a Fallout game finally on Nintendo. Never happened before. Like I Skyrim was the same thing when the Switch came out, which was cool.
Yeah, that was interesting. I have a copy of that too.
Same. I have a physical copy, and it's still my preferred way to play it because I can play with the Master Sword. Yeah, I can play with the Master Sword.
Totally forgot about that too.
So this is cool. Like, there's an official Master Sword and Hylian Shield in the game, which is really cool. And I think there's a quest for it, so that's really cool. I love like exclusive content for console that I really like. But Fallout 4 is such a great game. Such a great game. Like, people shit on it at first when it came out, but I replayed it recently when the show came out, and like, oh my god, I got lost for like 30 hours straight just playing that game. Like, it's good. It's a good game. So I'm probably just gonna buy it for the sake of having it on a Nintendo console. Honestly, like, that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah. They do say, everyone keeps saying Elden Ring too. That'd be interesting. I think that would be a huge.
That would be a huge seller.
That'd be a big one. Yeah, I'm not big into that, like, those kinds of games, but
I love Elden Ring, bro.
I know how big those games are. So that would definitely be a really big one. So,
but honestly, like, I would recommend you playing Elden Ring because it is Breath of the Wild, but in my opinion, better.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, all right, all right.
because Miyazaki, which is the guy that made Elden Ring,
Yeah.
he was heavily inspired by Breath of the Wild,
Oh,
and he
interesting.
was playing Breath of the Wild to get like inspiration for this game. So like it
Oh,
is like it's a big ass open world, which
yeah,
a bunch of things to do. It's not as open as Zelda Breath of the
yeah,
Wild, where you can just finish the game in 15 minutes. You still have a story progression that you have to go through, but the the little you see something, you go there, and then you find something like Breath of the Wild. In a way, it's the exact same thing, but it's just the difficulty of the game, which is can turn off a lot of people.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so I guess we'll wait and see what kind of third-party
Mm.
support we get. Which brings us kind of to like the final rumor is that apparently there's still a February direct plan for Switch One.
I don't know if I believe
So
it though.
yeah, I mean, people are saying it. This is the big rumor. If it does happen, I mean, that would definitely make the wait feel a lot less
Shorter,
because
yeah.
the April 2nd direct, which is the Switch 2
Mm.
focused direct.
Yeah.
So like if you get like halfway through February, you get your direct,
Yeah.
your one final one for Switch 1. That probably carries you to April 2nd.
Okay. Yeah. True.
I don't know what you show. I keep hearing that maybe there's a Planet Robobot remake, which would be interesting. I do like Planet Robobot
It's
for
good. It's a good game,
yeah.
but they're gonna
Not
sell
sure
it
it's worth a whole direct.
$80.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which
So
I'm tired of Nintendo doing that, honestly. But you know,
so I guess we'll wait and see. I mean they're obviously not gonna they're not just gonna randomly stop supporting the Switch one
no.
right away. But I think the runway for the Switch one is gonna run out a lot faster than like the 3DS.
Yes.
Just because it's not even because they want to ditch the Switch one. It's just because it's just so underpowered now
Yeah.
that it feels like they've
It's
drained
chugging.
everything that they could out of it,
Exactly.
and there's nothing more they can do.
Exactly.
They have to move on to a new system because of out of necessity. They just
Yeah. Of
can't do
course.
it anymore. Right?
100%. Like. Yeah. No. I'm with you on that. Like the Switch is so underpowered right now, and
Yeah.
it pains me to say it because I love Nintendo. Like with all my heart, it's my favorite video game company of all time. But the problem is you can't compete with them. They still are able to compete, which is blows my mind right now.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how they do it because goddamn,
Yeah.
like Donkey Kong Country takes 15-20 seconds to load the level.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like we're
Yeah.
in a world of SSDs right now. It's been like 5 years since the PS5 came out with an SSD in the Xbox, and it
Crazy. Yeah.
instantly. And now you have the Switch, which chugs. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah. It just feels like I'm good with one final
Yeah,
one in February,
Yeah.
but I think once like December hits, I think I'm good to kind of lay this to rest.
yeah,
Just because it feels like its time has come. They
yeah.
can't make any more for this thing. So
But it's funny that you say that because like recently I've had since the Switch 2 came out, I had like another go at the Switch because it has been sitting on my in my room for like 6 months untouched, and
Yeah.
like now I'm going through Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, I'm going through Donkey Kong,
great
and
game. Yeah.
I'm like revisiting my old titles. I'm capturing
Yeah.
gameplay for some videos, and like I don't know, I love the Switch so much.
So do
It's,
I.
it's such a shame that it's so underpowered, but I love it so much. Such great games like on it, and like I had so much fun. I don't have that much fun with my PS5 or my Xbox. I don't have that same feeling while playing the Nintendo's exclusive. So I don't know. Yeah, it's just a shame that Nintendo are like a little bit behind right now.
The thing is, like for me, is like the thing is still backwards compatible. There's still lots of things I want to get to. So I just know that I'm still bringing all these games forward with me. So
exactly, my collection is.
I look forward to it.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know if you if I've talked to you about it, but Switch games are gonna get expensive. Unfortunately,
there will come a point. Yeah.
Yes, like in 2 or 3 years, Nintendo are gonna stop making copies because they're gonna rely on the digital copy for you to buy in order to play backwards compatible title. That's how it's gonna be. There's no point for them to print physical copies anymore of like Donkey Kong Country, like a
Returns
Tropical
HD.
Freeze. Yeah, or yeah, exactly, because they're gonna be like, oh, if you want to buy it, you can just buy it digitally, which they're already starting to push with their bundle like consoles with the games, like
Yeah,
it's all
true,
digital.
yeah, you got
So
that, yeah.
so if you want Switch games, buy them now. Buy
Yeah,
it,
I would
especially
say.
physical. Buy them now, because in a couple of years
Yeah.
they're gonna get expensive, and they're gonna get
Yeah, there's definitely a couple. The
yeah.
one that I have to definitely like take a look at is Another Code Recollection. Just because I
Exactly,
know
this one, yeah.
that one is gonna go,
And
so I gotta be ready.
the Nintendo exclusives too. Like, if
Oh yeah,
that's the thing, like especially the launch titles, like near launch, like Bayonetta, Donkey Kong.
yeah. I got Bayonetta 3 and 1. I don't
Yeah,
have 2,
I don't
but
have
I have to
2.
buy 2.
I have them digitally.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because they were like on super sale at some point digitally, but I don't have the physical copy. I only have like the big edition here, the Bayonetta 3.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I want them, but I know, especially like Bayonetta 1, which was a super limited print that they did like 5 or 6 years before, after the Bayonetta 2 came out on the Switch, and Bayonetta 2 it's like impossible to find right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see that direct when it happens.
If it happens, yeah.
If it happens, if it happens. We'll see
I
what they got. We'll see what they got. In store
honestly,
for
like
us.
I would kind of like more a indie direct, I think, than a actual
yeah.
direct, because like the Switch is driven by the indies right now. Like that's what keeps it going. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, like, but that's what keeps it going. So like, if they make an indie direct, it would make more sense to me that than an actual Nintendo direct.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah,
That's
those
what
are kind of the rumors. You know, lots more things are definitely kind of happening.
yeah.
There's been like a few weird things. Like one thing, I saw someone being like, "Well, now the news will slow down for Nintendo now that it's out." And I was like, I feel like the opposite is
Yeah.
gonna happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy on that, right?
No. Especially all the leakers that like jumps on the train right now. It's like crazy.
Yeah, like it feels like more news, if anything, is gonna start happening more and more. So yeah, that was weird to me. I was like, no, that's wrong. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna, you know, start, this news is gonna start coming out more and more.
Yeah.
So just be prepared. How are you feeling now? Now that it's been like a week and a half, you know, we've kind of sat on it for a bit. I don't know about you. I'm even more excited
Yeah.
now because I'm excited for the new stuff. That's
Yeah.
what really gets me. So I don't know, how are you feeling? How are you feeling now in a room check here?
Yeah, at first, you know, like as I said previously, I was not really. I was like, I'm okay to wait. Like I'm at a point
Yeah.
in my life where I'm okay to wait. And like, the more and more I play my Switch, the more and more I'm like, oh man, having
that new thing.
yeah, having that new thing, having super crazy fast load times. You know what excites me the most is my Switch 1 titles getting like boosted on the Switch 2.
Same
Like,
here. Oh,
yeah, I'm so happy. Like, actually, like, because I love Xenoblade. It is my favorite franchise of all time, like hands down. And like, they run like shit on Switch. They
Yeah.
run like absolute dog shit. Like, I'm not even gonna pretend that they're not. But if all the Xenoblade game can be like 1080p 60 FPS or like 2K 60 FPS, that would make my day. Like that would make I would be so happy.
I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think Xenoblade runs at like 480.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Docked, not undocked, yes. Docked,
Yeah.
it's like 720, I think, and it's like
Yeah,
30
so if
FPS.
that could get up to 1080,
yeah, if
right?
it get
Like
1080 and 60,
60,
because like
yeah.
I don't mind the 30 FPS. Like I don't mind them, especially on Nintendo games. I don't mind, but I'm a little bit tired. I like,
You want a smooth experience.
yeah, I just want 60 FPS. Like it's not too much to ask. If you have to put it at 1080 instead of 4K, I don't give a crap.
Yeah, same.
Like
I'll take 1080, 60 all day.
I don't really see the difference, to be honest. Like I see it
really
a
hard to
little
see it,
bit.
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I see it a little bit, but like I don't care. I just
No,
want
me
I just want
neither.
it to look good. That's it. Like
Same.
I don't care about anything else, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So I'm pretty
real
excited right now.
I'm real excited.
Yeah.
There's still a ton that we don't know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, April 2nd is basically is only 2 months away,
Yeah,
considering that it's right at the beginning of the month. So
exactly.
yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. I'm real amped. So
Yeah,
there's gonna be a lot to get into.
yeah.
So that's kind of for the news. It's kind of still quiet, but I think we're gonna see things
Hmm.
just start picking up around this time. And we just got an Xbox presentation,
Yeah.
so things are gonna start picking up, and we're gonna start seeing more and more things. So let's head to our revisiting retro
Oh.
segment. Every time on the show, revisiting retro, Ben and I will take a look at something
Mm.
retro video game wise. Usually it'll be a game, but sometimes it'll be a TV show,
Yeah.
it'll be a movie,
Yep.
it'll be some sort of media. Who knows? But this time it is a game. And to celebrate Donkey Kong Country Returns HD coming out, we decided to look back at DK Land 1. So
One.
Donkey Kong Land 1 for the
Oh.
Game Boy. If you don't know what the Donkey Kong Land games are, they're essentially um, Donkey Kong Country
Ports.
demakes,
Yeah.
ports
8-bit
for
demakes. Yeah.
yeah, for the Game Boy. So while you have Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, to go alongside with them, there was Game Boy ports. Donkey Kong Land is what they were called. And there's
Mm.
1, 2, and 3. And they're loosely based off of the games
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
related to. So we
Yeah.
played the first one. Um, what did you think? Have you ever played this before?
Yeah, yeah, I grew up with this game actually. I know
Okay,
that
interesting.
game
So
like from the back of my hand. Like
that's
I've never
interesting.
finished it before,
Yeah.
but I grew up with this game. I was obsessed with it as a kid because I didn't own not that I didn't own a Super Nintendo, but I didn't have the Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing is with Donkey Kong Land 1 is very different than its SNES counterpart. So
Yeah.
it shifts like there's nothing really like it. There's no level similar to it. It's very like its own game. The second and the
Yes.
third one is they're kind of following the
Similar to the
story. Is
country
similar
games that they're
exactly.
named off of. Yeah.
The look, I love this game because I'm nostalgic. But the only thing that I'm gonna say is the controls are so bad. This
It
game,
actually,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
DK is so heavy in this game.
He is
He,
heavy and he's slippery
oh my god, yes, like you feel like you're on ice levels
all the
all the
time.
time, which is stupid because the actual level design, the actual game, is amazing. It's so good.
Yeah.
But the way, and I understand, like, bro, it's still a miracle that this game is on the Game Boy. Like, it's still like it used like the 3D scans that they use on the Super Nintendo, so it's really cool to see. But man, so hard. You know what I wish for is someone would mod the DK Land 2 controls in DK Land 1 because the DK Land 2 are like controls are really better. Like they're more like the SNES counterpart.
Yeah.
So I would like someone to just like try to mod the movement control into the first game, and it would be like my favorite of the series.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really hard game. There are a lot of like cool designs in the games, cool level
Yeah.
designs,
Yeah.
like the little city in a way, like
Mhm.
near the end. It's really cool. I liked it. It's just a good game. It's just hard, you know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I like Game Boy games a
Mm,
lot. I
yeah.
find that they have like a lot more charm
Mm.
than NES games
Yes.
just because of how like
Absolutely.
limiting
Yeah.
it is. And there's
Yeah.
some great counter port games. Like I
Mm.
think of like how Super Mario Land
Mm.
2 is supposed to kind of be
Super Mario World.
similar-ish to Super Mario World, but it's its own thing.
Yeah.
I really like that
Yeah.
game. It controls fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I
Oh
tried
my god.
playing this one. I had never
Oh.
played it before.
Yeah.
My experience from Donkey Kong Country as a kid was the Game Boy Advanced ports. I never
Oh.
played the Super
Okay.
Nintendo ones, so I only played the
Okay.
Game Boy Advance ports. I had 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So playing this,
It must have been
yeah, I'll be
rough.
honest, I didn't love it.
No, no, no. I
It is
understand.
really slippery.
Yeah.
Some of the level design, um, I'm never sure if I have to like I don't know. Sometimes like I would fall and I would just be like, oh, I guess is that the level's over. It kicks you out almost to the start screen
Yeah,
every time.
yeah,
Sometimes you die too. Like,
yeah,
yeah, the game just it's fine. I would
yeah,
say like if that was the only thing you got to play as far as like your
yeah.
Donkey Kong experience, it'll do the trick. But like while I was playing through it the whole time, I was kind of like, I wish I was playing Donkey Kong Country.
Country,
Like the
yeah,
whole time I was
yeah, yeah,
wanting to
yeah.
play
No, no,
the
I get it.
actual Donkey Kong Country.
I get it.
So yeah, the game isn't bad.
Mm.
Graphically, it does do that thing where it takes like the character models from
Mm.
3D on a computer and like shrink them
Shrink them
down and
into 8
add
bit,
movement.
which looks weird a little
Um,
bit.
it is. It looks really crunched in
Yeah,
this.
yeah, and sometimes like the pixels are like, they're like,
Yeah.
you feel like the game's struggling. And frame rate 2 in
Yeah.
this game is very bad. Like it can be
Yeah.
bad at times.
But yeah, easily, like you said, the worst part is Donkey Kong is really heavy
Yeah,
and somehow slippery
yeah,
as well. So there were a ton of times where I thought that I was coming to a complete stop and I fell off.
yeah. You fell off because
Um,
you're like, zoop. Like there's a like little like slip right when you land.
yeah.
Like it's never like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just
But
a
no, like it seems like if you ever get close to the edge, it
Mm.
almost feels like it's pulling
pulling
you
you. Yeah.
to the edge to take you out for some reason.
Mm.
To add like that difficulty.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Donkey Kong games are typically actually quite difficult or challenging. So yeah, I died a bunch.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of times where I felt like it wasn't my
It
fault.
wasn't your fault,
I was
yeah.
like, wait, why? How? I didn't get.
How are you
All of a
dying?
sudden, I
Yeah.
got pulled into the pit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's how the rewind feature is.
yeah.
Good.
Thank God.
Thank God
for
it's
that.
there, especially for this game. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely need it for NSO.
yeah.
Yeah, like I was able to get the banana coins and stuff. So I do like the exploration, and I do like kind of their ambition to make like
Yeah.
these kind of bigger levels and stuff. But yeah, the game is also pretty punishing because you pretty much only have one life.
Yeah, yeah.
So
One
if
life and
you
that's
get
it.
hit, that
You're
is
dead.
it.
Yeah.
Like there's no second chance like if you have Diddy Kong,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
are like one hit
Yeah.
done.
Done.
And that's never good for me
Yeah.
because my skills aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So I died a lot.
Yeah.
And the hardest part,
Yeah.
I think, because it's so compressed and there's not a ton of colors, is I find that it's hard to tell what I can jump
Yeah.
on as far as an enemy or not.
Yeah.
So whenever I see the Kremlings, I'm like, okay, I can jump on that. But then there'd be some bugs where I'm like, can I jump
on them? Yeah.
And then it turns out they were like a bee and I couldn't jump on it. And I was like, okay.
The physics when you jump on an enemy, you go so fast down. Like
Yes.
it's crazy. Honestly, like what I end up doing is I never jump on enemies. At least I have no choice. Like I usually just roll because
Me too. I was avoiding them like crazy.
and even rolling, like there's a little momentum boost when you roll, and then
Yes.
sometimes when there's a pit, you're just like, I'm dead. I'm dead. Like there's nothing you can do.
One of the most important things I find with Donkey Kong Country, like the original trilogy as well as the new like Returns and Tropical Freeze, is when you hit an enemy and you continue that momentum and that bounce, it's like important to the gameplay.
Yeah.
Because there are many times where you're using it pretty much to carry you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in this game, it feels like when you hit an enemy, you don't get that satisfying bounce like in the Super Nintendo games or these new ones.
Yeah.
Like because it really, you're supposed to like feel the weight of Donkey Kong hitting and then pushing off.
Yeah.
And I just don't get that here.
No, exactly.
It's not as satisfying.
And usually there's like a pit right next to it, so you die.
Exactly.
Like,
so
the level design is a little bit bad, honestly. Like it is bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good. Like I love the first world, the first and the second world
with the pirate ship,
and everything.
Yeah.
But the rest is like it's very hard. It's very hard. I like that's what I like. I like it like
Thematically.
Thematically. Yeah, I really love it thematically because like it is very interesting that it's nothing like Donkey Kong Country at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like it's completely its own game, but like the controls are what makes it not fun to play. I
Difficult.
grew up
Oh my
with it,
God.
so I love it to death.
Yeah.
But it's like more of a nostalgia thing. It is a very hard game, and not for the good reasons, I believe. As well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the conclusion I
Yeah.
came up to. I
Yeah.
was like, I enjoy Game Boy games. I
Yeah.
appreciate the ambition. I didn't
I didn't
I
enjoy
didn't
this
love
one.
it. I wanted to play something else.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanted
no.
to play another Donkey Kong game.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the end
no,
of the day, is kind of what
absolutely.
happened. So yeah, if you want to give this one a go and play it along with us, it is on your base Nintendo Switch Online
Yeah.
subscription in the Game Boy tier. I would recommend still trying it. I like Donkey Kong games as challenging as they can be. So,
how many booms would you rate this game?
If we're doing out of 5, this gets a 2 out of 5 booms. Yeah, it's just the only issue is if you have the base Nintendo Switch Online membership, you can play Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3.
So play those games
I like
instead.
Donkey Kong Country 3 a lot.
You like
I don't
DKC 3?
I don't get what's the hate. I think the problem is I played it as a kid and I was like, well, it's fine.
It's because it's too big. For me, my problem is not.
The levels are long. Now that
they're long and there's so much to do in the game. Like it's rare when they're cooking. They're cooking hard. Like DK64, they cooked on that game. They cooked too much. They should have been stopped at some point because there's so many things to do in the game. I think DKC3 is the same thing, but in a 2D game, like
because you have to take the vehicles to the levels. You have to unlock the hovercraft.
You have to do the little music thing, weird thing, like with the colors. Like you have all the coins, and then you have like 3 currency. No, I'm joking. Like make that generating, but like, god damn, this is a lot.
Maybe that's one we'll have to go back to eventually at some point too. Maybe
I never finished it honestly because like
nostalgia glasses are on. I just knew people were like, I hated Kitty, and I was like, Kitty's cool. Kong's fine.
It's okay. He's just a baby.
Yeah, literally.
It's just a baby.
And he only cries when he gets hit at the end. It's not like Mario
and he's like,
in
You know, like I grew up with the Game Boy version. Actually, I grew up with the Donkey Kong 93 because I didn't have it on the and it's pretty much the same game. Like it's like levels are shorter a little bit, but I used to love that game as a kid. Like a lot. Like especially Kiddy Kong was my favorite because I was like, I don't know, he's like a big baby.
Yeah, I liked him too. Yeah,
it's like I don't understand the hate about this character. Like
gamers hate babies. That's what it is. That's what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, that's revisiting retro. We will revisit something else next time as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this portion and let us know in the comments what you thought of DK Land 1. So Ben, getting to the end here, but we have a question of the show.
Oh my god!
What? So last time it was my turn, so it is your turn. And Ben, what is the question of the show?
So I have trouble formulating my words, but I will try to say it. Is there a game that actually changed your life? Meaning that I need to put a little bit more context to it. You were in a part of your life that was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like you're a little kid, and then you played this game, and you were like, oh shit, that changed my life. Like this game was so good, or it like gave me like a moral or something of the story. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like, did a game change your life? That's
a great question. Obviously my favorite game of all time, but I think I want to save that for another time when we talk about some of our favorite games. I will talk about my second favorite game of all time then.
Which I don't know what it is though. Because I know what your favorite game is though.
Yeah, so my favorite game of all time came when I was a kid, and that opened me up to a whole bunch of different things when it came to gaming, when it came to storytelling, art. That's why I love it so much, but we'll obviously talk about our favorite games, I'm sure, at one point. So we'll talk about my second favorite game of all time and why. And I think a major reason why certain games become your favorite of all time is not just because of the game itself, but because of the time and place that it comes into your life. So yeah, the game that I would say like changed my life, or at least put life
perspective into your life
for me was God of War 2018.
I had never played. It's a recent one.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I had
Okay.
never played God of War prior to this.
Okay.
I'd known about
Yeah.
Kratos, I'd known about who he was and stuff. Um, but I heard really good things about this game.
Hmm.
So at this point in my life, I was out of high school. Um, I wasn't dropped out of university yet, but I was like close. So I
Yeah,
was
you
on the
were like,
verge.
yeah.
I just, there was just a point in my life where I was really confused about what I want,
Hmm.
and I really wasn't at my best. I don't like to
Yeah.
like be personal,
No, no, it's
but
okay. No worries. No worries.
but I just did not know anything about myself or
Mm.
anything. But I knew I still loved video games. I knew I
Yeah.
still loved music. I knew I still loved sports. I loved all the things that I loved. I had a PlayStation 4 in my room, and it was like a Black Friday sale, and it
Yeah.
was on sale for
Yeah,
$20.
it was
God
so
of War
cheap.
2018. It was
It was so
1999.
cheap.
I remember because it had a big 1999 sticker on it from Walmart
From
plastered onto
Walmart,
it.
yeah.
So I grabbed it and I was like, well, got to be okay,
Yeah.
and so I took it home. I got some snacks. At that time, I really didn't have a lot of, I don't know, I just never like sat down by myself and did something for myself at that time. I was
Yeah.
always doing things for others, and whether that was good or bad. I put the game in, and I sunk my whole life at that point into that
Into
game.
that game, yeah.
And it just gave me so much perspective. I have a very big, not very big family, but a big family, and I've always been very family oriented,
Yeah.
just because I have a lot of siblings, and my parents were so great. And that game just put my life like into perspective,
Mm.
and the game was just so great.
So good.
If you've never played God of War 2018, to me it is probably one of the best
Action RPG.
narrative
Yeah.
games
Yeah.
ever. The storytelling is
On point.
second to none. It
Mm.
is just incredible, and matched the loving story of a father trying to figure out how
How
to
to
raise a
be, yeah,
child,
how to be a father. Exactly.
how to be a father, because he's
Yeah.
failed at it prior,
Yeah.
is interesting. And then you also see it from the kid's perspective,
Yeah.
who's lost his mother and is trying to connect with his father, whom
Mm.
he really doesn't know that much
Yeah.
about. He knows he's big, he knows he's strong, but he really doesn't know like where he's come from,
Mm.
what he's done,
Yeah, because
like
Kratos done.
sins of his
Oh
past,
my
right?
god, yeah.
Right? And yeah, the game just does a great job of making you feel for both of these
Mm.
people and the journey they're going on. Kratos' wife, his second wife,
Mm.
has passed away, so he is taking the ashes along with his son Atreus
Mm.
to the highest point in it's Norse mythology now,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah,
it's not in
not
Midgard,
Greek.
but it's in
Um,
originally it's in Midgard, but after that it's in
yeah,
another mountain. Yeah, we
the,
won't spoil the game, but
yeah. He's supposed to take the ashes to the highest
It's
point and scatter them because that was her
her.
wish.
Yeah.
And in essence, that's the game. It's them trying to get to the highest point to unleash the ashes. And of course, they find themselves in all sorts of very like
Peculiar
crazy
situation.
positions where they have to fight and obviously kill. It is God of War. But yeah, everything just clicked for me and made sense for me and put a lot of things into perspective. The story, the gameplay. I had never played a game like where I was so engrossed into the combat. Like you just feel
Mm.
so strong.
Yeah.
Like the shield, the axe, the
Yeah.
chains,
Yeah.
the whole thing just all comes together into like this perfect game. It's really hard for me to nitpick
Yeah.
and pick a moment that I'm just like, I hate this.
Yeah.
But
No, it's just,
each character is just so well rounded. Each character has their flaws. Each character has like their special traits. And yeah, the game just did so much for me. And I've played it probably 4 or 5 times now.
oh shit. Okay,
And every time I've loved it. I appreciate the story for what it
Mm.
is and how everyone kind of relates to family. Everyone kind
Yeah,
of relates to the difficulties of family, but
but it,
it's the love that carries them
yeah.
to their final point. And Kratos, he has a difficult time showing love because that's really
Mm.
not what he's made for.
And it's
But he knows that he
yeah.
wants to love his son.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fantastic game. It put a lot of things into perspective into my life, and I think about that game a lot.
A
I think
lot.
about how the game just made me like, I don't know, at least
Made
gave my
you
head a
not a better
shake at the
person, but
time.
like made you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me appreciate things more that I probably didn't
Mm.
appreciate prior to that at that time,
Yeah.
at least to where I was at that point in my life. So, yeah, I love God of War. 2018 is one of the greatest
Games of all
games of
time.
all time in my
I think
opinion.
it is a masterpiece, honestly.
Yeah, it's a
It is a
masterpiece.
masterpiece.
There are very few games that make me feel
The way
ways
God of
like
War
this does.
did.
So,
And
yeah, I love this game.
I'll
Everyone
add
go try it.
yeah. And you don't have to play the old ones to play this one. It is a
No, that's
story
the
on
best
its own.
part. Yeah.
It helps if you played the last one because I'm gonna add a point to where it's the reason why Kratos is so reluctant to have children, to love his children, is because
Yeah.
the entire saga began where his daughter died.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And his wife too.
His
right?
wife
Like,
too. They got slaughtered. I'm not gonna explain why. I'm not gonna say why, but
yeah.
and what I love about God of War 2018 is the fact that Kratos doesn't want to fight throughout the game. He is
he really doesn't.
He is past his prime. He's past his God of War era. He doesn't want to fight. Everything happens against his will in a way, but he still has to protect his son, and he doesn't know how to love. You know, it's a beautiful story. It is a beautiful story. So yeah,
it's crazy like how they've put it together. You know, not to like go on like a little tangent, but I always know people that are just like, man, you know, The Last of Us had just some of the best story, and I'm like, man,
God of War is better.
This story does parenting and family
way
better.
better.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just me. So yeah,
because no matter mistake, I don't know how to explain it, but how I see it is no matter what you did in life, you're still allowed to love or to be loved by your children.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If you decide to make a family, like that's, I don't know, you're still allowed to have love from them in a way.
I feel like it represents the human condition better than what The Last of Us does. So yeah, I always say that this is probably Sony's best game. It's obviously
it is their best game.
One of my favorite games of all time. I've played it a ton.
And
yeah,
another thing that I can't believe they did that, but the game is one point to another. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like,
yeah,
you don't go to sleep in the game. There's no time skip. There's no time.
No, it's supposed to be like this continuous thing.
It's non-stop. You're behind Kratos from beginning to end, and that's it. There is no like.
There's no cutscene.
There's no
cutscene is happening.
It's happening while you play the game, and it's crazy to me because you can't. Whenever you pick up the controller, the only time you'll get a load time is whenever you put down the controller and you go to sleep and you go back to the later. That's the only time you'll get a load time. Like, the story is supposed to be from point A to point B continuously, no cuts, no nothing. You'll always be behind Kratos no matter what happens, which is crazy to me. To me.
It's unbelievable. This is like, I mean, we just finished harping on PlayStation.
Shitting on them a little bit.
Idiots. But the reason is because we get unbelievable, beautiful games like this.
Yes.
So I hate when their talent is being wasted on a Fortnite clone or whatever. You know what I mean?
And I still think like it is their best game ever. Like, Ragnarok was good, but I love
Ragnarok too.
It's not as good as the first one because the first one has such an impact. Like, especially if you know Kratos, you know what he did, you know his story. It is amazing, so good.
I still loved Ragnarok, and I thought that it continued the story really well.
It continues it very
it
well.
it wasn't this like it's not obviously time and place.
Yeah.
But I was still I was just like, man, we're still continuing on.
Yeah.
Now he's a teenager and
He's
they're
a
still
teenager,
building upon
exactly.
it. So
but you play more to through the perspective of Arthreus, in my opinion. Not all the way
Atreus,
through
yeah.
Atreus, but
Yeah.
like yeah, there's more cuts there. It's not a continuous story. There's cuts and everything, which I think, like, it's not because the video games has cut that is bad, but I think it's just the way they did it in 2018 is just perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah,
the only gripes I have about this game, and it's not even about the game, is the menu system, which can be daunting.
Clunky.
Yeah, it is clunky, but that's it. That's the only thing. Everything, the combat, everything, the story, the graphics are crazy good. Crazy good.
When you do like a perfect parry, like when your
shield like
knocks someone and then you come strike down, it's so satisfying.
It's so violent every too time. Yeah, it's so good. Like, I don't know, it's I agree with you on that this game actually changed things for me too in my life. Like, I was like, holy shit, this game is good. And I used to hate Sony back then. Like, I was like a Nintendo kid all the way through, and I was just like, eh. And everyone was talking about God of War, and I was like, yeah, God of War, you know, meh.
Yeah, no, it's it's unbelievable. To me, there's nothing more satisfying than throwing the axe and pressing triangle, and
it comes back.
Feel that clink every time. I'm just like, it feels it's just so satisfying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love this game. It means a lot to me. So, that's a game that changed my life.
Yeah, definitely go play it.
How about yourself? What's a game?
So I'm gonna be a little bit in the personal details for that, but for me it is my favorite video game of all time, and it is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The reason why it changed my life, I'm gonna actually explain a little bit of my childhood, but not too much in detail. But I didn't grow up with parents when I was a kid, so like my dad was not really there, and my mom she was not really in the picture, and I was dealing with a lot of grief in life. The 5 stages of grief, Majora's Mask is basically a game about the 5 stages of grief, and I didn't understand it at the time, but I was obsessed with this game because every time I would enter a temple, or I would enter a place, there would be an emotion that I haven't felt in years because I was just balling up and everything inside. And this game actually like allowed me to grieve the fact that my mom was not there anymore, or my dad was just not present, or whatever. I'm not gonna get into a lot of details, but the themes of this game is just very good. Like, if you don't know, Majora's Mask is a story of accepting the fact that your fairy left, or your and the way it portrays it is in every dungeons you have 1 stages of grief, which I said previously. You have anger, denial, acceptance, or whatever. I don't remember all of them, to be honest, but every dungeon represent one of those emotions, and they represent them so well that it made me actually like grief in a way. It made me accept the fact that things happen in my life. And it's not all that too, is the fact that, to be honest, the themes, like the overall depression of the world, the overall like how the NPCs are actually changing over the days that you're playing it. Like, if you don't know, Majora's Mask is split into 3 days, and at the end of the 3rd day, the moon is gonna like explode the world, or it's gonna like kill the world in a way. And more and more everyone is like going through those 5 stages of grief. Like, every time you have a conversation with them during a time of day, they're gonna say something else. They're gonna first deny it, and then they're gonna be angry, and then they're gonna be sad, and then they're gonna be stressed. Like, it's just the amount of details, the amount of things that Nintendo actually did in this game. Like, they made so many possibilities. Like, you go see an NPC at the last 5 minutes of the game, and like he's curled up in his basement crying like crazy, and the soundtrack is just so heavy. Whenever you play this game, you feel. Some people might not feel it because some people might have not have experienced like grief to that. Like whatever they might have like I don't know how to explain it, but like if you have like if you have experienced grief like that to that level, I feel like this game resonates with you.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it as a kid, and there's all of the mass collecting too. There's the transformation that you can have. I was obsessed with Zoras when I was a kid, and the fact that I could just become a Zora for me was amazing. I used to roam the world for hours and hours, not really doing anything, just like accepting the fact that my parent left in life. Like I was just like, just the music, everything, like the tone of the game made me like think for the first time in my life and I played it when I was like 10, 12 maybe, like for the first time all the way through because I grew up with this game, but like the first time that I actually realized that it's not normal what I experienced, like that's what happened, you know. So yeah, it actually made me like, and that's why I love this game so much, because like it helped me get through my I don't know, my grief, I guess. It only grieved in my life, and yeah, to this day, like, and it's weird because it's one of the game that I not really replaying. I like, I'm not that I'm scared of replaying it, but like I'd rather watch someone else replay it because my experience for me was enough. Like I played it multiple times, but nowadays I feel like content to the fact that I don't want to replay it. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's a very weird feeling, but like I feel like
it's kind of interesting. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like the game did for you, not what you asked for it, but what it needed to do for you, and you kind of want to see it do that for someone else.
Exactly.
That's you know, that's an interesting perspective to look at.
It is. I'm gonna like sound like some voodoo shit or something right now, but the game actually came out at my birthday.
Really?
Yeah. So it came out the 27th. Yeah,
that was in 2000, right?
Yeah, I was born in 1997, but it came out 2000, the 27th of April, the 2000. And I feel like I'm just connected to the game. Yeah, it's like it's very weird. Like my favorite game of all time came out on my birthday.
On your birthday, yeah.
Which is crazy to me. I feel like this game is there for a reason in my life. Like so I will forever love this game. I will forever cherish this game. I will forever like try to make people play it because I think it is overall still a masterpiece. Like even though like I know a lot of people don't like the time mechanics and everything, but I don't know. I just love this game. I just love this game.
Yeah, I've seen a like complete playthrough of it. I've tried playing it in the past, and I have a really difficult time playing with it. Not because of the story. That's the part that makes me keep trying it, is because of the story aspect. The time mechanic is always what freaks me out. I get major anxiety seeing it. And as I've gotten older, I'm someone that always goes off the beaten path and like discovers things. So sometimes I don't like feeling that pressure. But what the story does, I would say like definitely Zelda has been known to not be afraid of tackling darker themes.
Yes.
I think of things like Link's Adventure, especially that one. That really felt like the first time they dipped their toe into like dark feelings. Because spoilers for Link's Adventure, if you've
Link's
never
Awakening,
played it.
You mean, right?
Oh, Link's Awakening. Sorry,
yeah.
If he has to collect these instruments to wake the
windfish,
the windfish on this island to bring like whatever, but it'll essentially like bring Link back home. But if he does that, it's going to destroy the island and kill everybody on it. So there is this constant dilemma of knowing that you need to get back home because you could die, but if you save yourself, you will be ending the lives of others. And it does like a really good job of like having you contemplate things and like the toughness. And so this game, same thing, does a really great job of exploring passing. And I always think about, even at the very beginning, you are turned into a little Deku scrub. And you discover a Deku scrub that has passed away. He is essentially like a little tree that is stuck frozen. That's how Deku scrubs pass away, they essentially become like
become
a little, almost like a
trees. Yeah.
statue,
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
little
yeah.
tree with
Yeah.
a face. And then you meet
His
his
dad.
father.
Yeah.
His father very shortly after, like he's like a butler, right?
He's a butler, yeah, right after the
Yes.
first dungeon. I
Dungeon.
love this
You
game
meet
so
him.
much, man.
And that's when you're like, oh my gosh, like you are
His son.
what? Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you
masks
are
that
the
you collect
embodiment of his soul.
of his son. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the masks you collect are essentially
Souls.
souls and people's essence of people that have previously usually have passed away.
Passed away, yeah. And you have to
It's very
like
interesting
and you have to
how
yeah, sorry.
how you tackle, I don't know, just yeah, like you said, the each stages of grief and how you see that play along through this whole way, and the constant anxiety of seeing like
the moon
moon
falling.
at the top.
It's everything about this game is you see the moon falling, you talk to
Yep.
NPCs, they're either denying the fact that the moon is gonna fall, or they're
coming
like
down, yeah.
crazy and they're just move away.
Yeah.
You can go to the second day and you don't see that NPC anymore because he fled. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm too scared. There's a quest in the game which is Anjouin Cafe, which is one of my favorite side quests of all time, which you have so many things that you need to do, so many like time-based things. Like you have to go to a certain hour, meet someone, and then take a letter and give it to someone else, and come back to that hour, and then while managing the fact that you're doing temples and everything. You don't have to do it, but it's more fun that way, in my opinion. And if you mess up, you're gonna have a different interaction on whenever you messed up. If you messed up like the letter thing, you're gonna have a different interaction. If you messed up like right after like there's a hideout or anything, you're gonna have a different interaction. If you go like because my favorite part of the game is the last 5 minutes of the game, which like you see everyone like they know they're gonna die, like they know they're gonna die, everything, they're all freaking out. And if ever you go see one of the two NPCs after the 5 minutes, because it's a couple, you have to reunite those that couple. Whenever you messed up, like if you messed up like in the first hours or in the fourth hours or in the you're gonna have a different interaction. They're gonna say something else. They're gonna say something differently because you gave them hope at a certain point of the quest line, which is crazy. Yeah, it's an N64 game.
Yeah,
and even if you do all that quest, which finishes at the last 5 minutes of the game, you know they're gonna die.
Yeah, which
is you've done all of these efforts for you to just rewind time and come back, and they don't know each other again. Like, I don't know, it's just a always sense of you're doing something but you're never completing it because you're gonna go back in time and you're gonna lose all the progress that you made in a way. This game's good. This game's good.
The way I've always viewed it is, you can live in a cycle of grief, hence why you keep going back, right? And you keep seeing the moon is going to crash down, so you're constantly going through this cycle. It's only when you've put in the work and the effort and the time, which is a main thing, where the giants will come and they pick the moon and they push it back, right?
Yeah.
And the way I've always viewed it is that it's a representation of you've done the work.
Yes, it's acceptance.
You've gone through the.
It is the fifth stage. Yeah, it's the
fifth
stage. Yeah,
is not ending.
Yeah,
it's pushing back. You'll still see it. You still see like
that the
moon up there. It's still up there.
Yeah,
and like that feeling of maybe connected to a person or whatever. It's still up there, but it's not crashing down.
Yeah,
and like the end kind of like
it does not control you anymore. In a way.
Exactly. Yeah. And the game just does a great job of one thing I've always appreciated, and it's not just in video games, it's in music and it's movies. It's showing me and not telling me.
Yeah.
Like let me do part of the work and being like, what does that represent? What does that do? And then it makes it feels satisfying once you've come to your own conclusion. Right?
And I think like to add on that point is let me interpret it the way that I want.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I'm technically the main character. I'm playing the game.
Yes.
want to, and I think that's why Majora's Mask is very loose on its themes in a way, because it wants you to connect with yourself. It wants you to live with your past traumas or anything. Some people might just play Majora's Mask and be like, well, that was a good Zelda game, and that's it, like, which is okay. Yeah. If it's just a good Zelda game for you, you didn't see the undertones of the game, fine.
Yeah.
Fine. But yeah, there's a lot of undertones, and I don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot that you can. The game gives you as much as you want to take from it.
Yeah.
So if you want to take it as a game that tests your endurance and your anxiety with the time mechanic, that's perfectly fine.
That's perfect, yeah.
But if you want to take it as something more as losing a friend or going through, major things, the game lets you do that too. And that's the best part of many games, is letting you decide
whenever you're ready
how you view it and take it. So yeah, no, I'm with you. There will probably come a time where I try it again, but the theming in this Zelda game is very much unmatched. I would say Link's Awakening is very similar in how it's got a dark undertone. Obviously, Twilight Princess is all dark undertone.
Yeah, it's just edgy.
That one's edgy.
It's piss bleed filter, like it's like orange filter type. Yeah, no.
That game is just dark for the sake of being dark.
It's the Sasuke era of Legend of Zelda.
But there are a lot of Zelda games. I mean, my favorite game of all time is a Zelda game that have
whimsical
more to it than just simply being like
a Zelda game.
A little guy going on
a cool adventure.
There's like personal.
Yeah.
It's all about personal goals that you're achieving, or personal things that you're overcoming.
And it's
not just beating Ganondorf.
And I'm not saying that Majora's Mask is the best game of all time objectively. What I'm saying is, for me, there will never be a game that will be better to my eyes for what it did to me. Because video games is how you connect to the game. It's how you experience it to the game. It's how you feel through the game. It's supposed to connect to yourself. There are going to be objectively better games than Majora's Mask in my life. And I can be critical on that point. I can say that objectively, for me, God of War 2018 is a better game than Majora's Mask. Mechanically, graphically, everything, yes. But to me, there will never be a game that'll be better than Majora's Mask, ever.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that for a fact, and it will never change. Like, it's how it resonated with me,
Yeah.
It will always be like through my heart. Like, I don't want to explain it, but it's such an important. It is part of me in a way. Like, that's how I see it. It is part of myself now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, art is a great medium.
Yeah,
it lets you connect it how you want. And obviously, I mean, I'm into all sorts of art. I love music. I love TV shows and stuff. But yeah, the video game one just lets you connect on a very different level as far as you feel like you're in control of certain aspects. So yeah, that was a great question for this.
That was a great question.
I'll have to think of something very clever for the next
no
one.
worries. It doesn't have to be that deep. Like, we don't have to be that deep. I think we both experienced some kind of personal growth through our game that changed us in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have many more too, but that one is.
I have more too, but this, exactly. This one is hands down the best.
Well, we've made it. We made it here to the end of the episode here of No Continues. Obviously, let us know down below. Was there a game that changed your life? What do you like?
And be specific.
Let me know why.
Write us a paragraph if you want. 3 paragraphs, I don't care. We'll read it. We'll comment it. We'll share. Do it.
Yeah, we like reading the stories. Yeah. So, what do you got up to for the next couple weeks, Ben? Just more content, more streams. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I'm working on a Nintendo Switch 2 video. I'm getting on the hype. I'm not gonna say it specifically, but I'm looking at backwards compatible title that you need to buy technically. Right. So yeah. there's this, and yeah, obviously more streams. Going through Kirby in the Forgotten Land with my girlfriend right now. There's really
yeah,
fun.
I love that game.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
That's such a good game. Such a good game that nobody talks about anymore. And
yeah, I felt like it was so popular when it came out, and then it kind of quietly
died.
went away.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely
such a
pick
good
this
game.
one up.
Like
it's a great one.
Everyone remembers Mario 3D Land, but they don't remember Forgotten Land, and they'll kind of toss it aside. Which I think they're kind of in the same degree as terms of like multiplayer and the way you approach the game. Like they're kind of in the same degree. So I'm like, no, it's and I honestly forgot about this game. Wow, so no, it's really cool, and I'm playing through Donkey Kong Country Returns AG. Next game I'm gonna play though on stream is Conquer Bad Fur Day.
Conquer! Yeah, I love Conquer.
Yeah,
I finished it many years ago, kind of during that time I was doing God of War.
Yeah,
probably a couple years after. I got an Xbox One S, the all digital one.
Yeah, the digital
one. And I bought Rare Replay. And I played it for the
original,
time. Yeah, and it was really fun. I had a good time. I will say I enjoy Banjo more.
Yeah,
but the outgoingness of Conquer, is fantastic. Definitely, I'm excited for that one now. That's gonna be a good time.
Which one would you?
Crazy things.
Yeah, good clips though. That I was thinking more about clips. That's why I like the Great Mighty Pooh and stuff. And I've never finished the game as a kid. I couldn't understand shit. I'm French. Like, I don't know if you notice with my accent, the way I talk. I'm French, so I couldn't read English back then, so I didn't know anything. But which one would you recommend though? The Conquer Live and Reloaded or the original?
So I think just for me, I actually really liked Live and Reloaded because I like how it looks. And maybe I'm in the minority. I think if you bleep the swears, it's funnier.
It's funnier. Yeah.
I don't know why. I find it funnier because in the Live and Reloaded they bleep out the swears.
Yeah.
In the N64 one they don't.
But it's still a mature game though.
Yeah, it's still mature. Yeah, but I just find when they bleep swears, it's funnier for some reason, just because of the nonsensical nature of it. I just like hearing that sound, every time.
It'll help me actually like cut down on editing if the swears are bleeped. So I think I'm gonna go for the Live and Reloaded, and I think it looks better in a way. And people,
it looks really good.
Yeah,
like really good.
Here's how I see it right now: is people are gonna tend more to actually trash in the comment section for this game instead of the N64 one. They're gonna be like, oh, I can't believe you played the Live and Reloaded one. Oh my god. Like, those type of people. So
they're the same game.
They're the same game.
One is just up-res to like the modern graphics.
I think it's 40i and it is 40i. 40p.
It's great. No,
holy shit. OG Xbox is so goated, man.
It is really good. Goated. Yeah. And that game's expensive now. Like Live and Reload, it's like $100 to $200.
Yo, I bought it like $35 like last year.
Yeah, because it's going for quite a bit now. But yeah, I like Live and Reloaded. It's funny to me. I like the swearing. Halo 2, yeah. The game it's good. I like that one. Yeah, for me, I'm playing through Donkey Kong Country Returns, so I'll probably try tackling that for my
maybe a little stream soon.
I know. I have to get back on the grind. I haven't done it in a while.
We could I know we've talked about it, but we like Four Swords Adventure.
Yeah, next Sunday.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hopefully this episode is out before that. Probably will.
Yeah, probably it will.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, we got some other stuff we're doing. We're viewing a couple places.
Yeah,
nice because I would like to get. For those who don't know, obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on the podcast, you can't see, but if you're watching, I'm in my like living room area with my desk. So we need an office.
Yeah, you don't have an office. That's the thing.
So we want to get something that works so we can actually do more streams and stuff. So, but yeah, for me, just gonna tackle some more games, get some work done. And that's what the week has in store for us.
Nice.
Hopefully we get some more Nintendo stuff.
Yes.
Ben, where can everyone find you on socials?
You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, and now on Red Note. No, I'm joking.
He's on Red Note.
Yeah, no, but I was just for the TikTok trend. But no, Twitch, YouTube, And TikTok, my username is Benduzo. It is right here, actually. So yeah, where can we find you, Juice?
You can find me on TikTok at Juice Bar Gaming. I gotta get my content going here too. I've been taking a like social break from
That's
TikTok
okay.
for a bit.
That's
Because
okay.
so many people were just so negative about Switch 2. I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah,
All that rage bait content is
yeah.
enough. No more.
Yeah, people
I
that
can't
said
watch
that it looked bad. I was like, oh, come on. Now
Oh,
you're just
come on,
rage
it
baiting.
looks
I know, like,
fine,
everyone
yeah.
does it. I will do it for Conquer
Yeah.
Live and Reloaded. No shame about that. But, like,
Here we go.
don't say stupid shit, bro. Like,
Yeah, don't be stupid. Come on. Just
like, you look dumb.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah,
It looks
just-
fine. You're
it's
just
okay.
angry. Come on. You'll still be playing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
9
And you'll
or
probably play
10.
it once or twice, and then you'll put your Switch aside and
Yeah.
act like you're a gamer. Okay, I'm joking. I'm
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
I'm actually
come on.
joking right now. I'm not being serious, but you know.
Well, thank you guys. This has been No Continuous. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in a couple weeks. We will see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Bye-bye.